Hey, so welcome back to my video underneath my YouTube channel. And I know it's been a while. I haven't been on the media since, but I'm actually here once again. So in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you the strategy I'm gonna be using for my animal. Okay, so I'm almost there. Okay, so firstly I can say we are actually mountain livers. Do have pretty amount of farmlands, which I'm gonna be doing some heavy investment into meat production. Okay, what I can see from our unit is that our meat section is actually falling apart. That's what I can say. But I believe that it can be revived. Okay, with some very good production. So as we're home, it's not actually far from my home here, but it's a pretty high hill. So that's the reason I've been blowing so much. So for here, I don't have the actual coverage for my garden. Okay, so my garden full of feed for animals, majorly likely goats, who's gonna love the vines. But I do have my sheep, and what I intend to do, I intend to let her go. Okay, but if you take a close look, you can see she's actually let go, but she has been tied to a piece of stump. So my reason for the stump tying is actually goes towards the animal. So in later times, she used to look a little bit very mega, but I did had my plan, and my plan was actually to let the bushes grow here. I do have some yams underneath this land here. Can't speak to hard here now because persons may know that they actually come dig them off. So I do have a lot of yams here. They're underneath the ground, so they're not gonna mess with the animals being here. Also with my young ones here, this is also female, so how gonna be maybe just now getting ready for um, mating and all of that. So with this here, I'm just gonna throw that there. Okay, and because the bushes are actually so thick here, whenever she finds a spot to eat, somewhere that's comfortable, she's not gonna reach so far. Okay, so there is many feet around here, so she's just gonna go around in circles. um, you know, she has plenty places to eat, so it's not something that I'm afraid for. So as you can see, there's gonna be some sort of stop somewhere as she starts moving, but she will have access to the garden. But what I don't want her wasting the food, so I want to make sure that she uses the food as it should be used. Okay, so she will find her spot to eat, and when she does, she's gonna eat. Okay, and as she pull that rope, it's gonna be stuck somewhere. She's not gonna get far. I do have a few barrication which is actually rotting out right now, but um, it's not gonna make her be anyway that I have to look. So she has at least real food to eat. So she's not gonna actually go anywhere that far. So within this garden, I do have a few spice trees that I'm using. I'm still leaving them here for some time. I have to regulate the garden, so I decided to give this piece of garden here to the sheep so that they can eat. The garden go a little way over so, and it go all the way straight up. So it's a pretty, not a big piece of land, but it's a good piece of garden that has plenty of feed for animals. Okay, I did want to put some of my cows up here, but I think the way things are going, I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to be using another piece of garden which I has lower down to the road for the cows, because it is actually right next to my home. All I need to do is just jump the road and that's going to be fine. For the goats, I'm going to be using a piece of garden which is way bigger than this one here for the goats. And also within this piece of garden is going to be able to gives me at least a lot of goats. So my plan for the stage here is I do have to do a road here because it's actually real tight up here. But my plan is that's going to be the sheep home. I want to make sure that they're comfortable. That's why I start letting her go with the rope and the piece of stump so that she doesn't go anywhere far. And I want her to actually get accustomed to the piece of garden. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be bringing up a housing state so that she can rest, she on a kid, whenever rain is falling. I don't want them to actually be wetting and have the fur, you know. So they're gonna be in discomfort. So I don't want to be, I don't want them being this stuff. So I'm gonna be getting a piece of stuff and get it sorted out. And for the goat system, because it's goats and goats are actually picky and kind of a choosy. If this land is actually like this, then I don't want to see what the other garden is actually like. And also we do have another one right to the top. So in my plan, what I want to do, I decided I wanted to actually fence the whole garden, but then why not work smart and not hard? So what I decided to do is I decided to make a house. I do have some materials home. So in my process, I'm going to be making a home. And the reason why I'm going to be making that home is early in the morning, I'm going to wake up from my bed because it's going to be the only hardest work that I have to do for the day. So I'm going to wake up into my bed, and the cage that I built, or the housing that I built for the animals, I'm going to lock the animals in there because persons actually steal animals really, really bad. And I'm going to be using the same technique with the piece of stump and the rope for the goat. So I'm going to be letting her go through the land, and she's going to actually eat. She's not going to go anywhere far because the land is actually full of vine. So she's going to eat, and every day, every afternoon, I'm going to make sure that I go back up, get her, put her inside of the coop, and then in the morning, I'm going to come back up and I'm going to let her go again so she can have free roam because the land is actually big, really big, so she can walk, she can eat, she can do whatever she wants. But I want to make sure that she's controlled. So whenever she start eating from the lower lands and it start becoming a problem because she has many space to run, then I will have to um, start tying her. But for now, and isn't even for the sheep, for now I do has to leave her for now because there are still bushes that can hold back the rope and hold her back from actually going off course, which is there is no other lands that has that amount of bush because I actually grew these lines in them here specifically for the animals. So she's gonna reach somewhere far, but not that far. So I will have to catch up with her because I actually checked on her every day because since she's actually loose. Okay, so I'm checking out on her. I know she have a lot of stuff to eat. It's gonna take some time, but I have to make sure that I come here and find her here. So in my next process of the game, I'm going to be showing you all how I'm going to be doing that stuff. And also when it comes to the cows, I think I do have to start hook up my stuffs when it comes to the cow. So I do have two pieces of place where I can put the cows. I do have a place right over in my garden where I'm doing my fig stocks, my fig trees, planting trees, all of that. There is rocks on top of there, and I was thinking that should be the perfect place for me to put my cows and stuff because they're going to be opened. So I'm going to be leaving them open. That's going to be my motion, my motive. I'm going to be leaving the space open. I'm just going to be fencing the borders because the land is actually like a square. So I can fence the borders, lock the ends where the fig trees actually stop. And I'm going to leave that open space there for them. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be actually making a center food stand for the cows. I actually do want to work on some grass, a grass cutter, something that can actually um, break down grasses. Okay, so for instance, if I have my weed eater and I cut, like for instance, those grasses here that maybe the cows use, even the grasses from lawns and all of that, I know the lawn grass is already fine and chipped, so it's not going to be a problem. So I'm looking for a grass chipper. I'm going to be doing some research on that for some time because I'm going to be using the grasses from persons who cut the land, or I'm going to cut grasses myself. I'm also going to employ persons to cut grasses for me, but I want to invest in a grass chipper so it can actually break down the grass so I can actually store the grass. And I want to use more of the dry grasses because when it comes to drying the grasses, it is way healthier when it comes to disease efficiency. So I want to actually work on that disease stuff. I don't want to use most of the green grasses that can develop a lot of pests and stuff like that, disease, microorganisms that's going to have the animals set back. Because I am looking to do at least a continuous cow farm, very big cow farm, continuously, where I can have at least 6 cow per start, and I can actually multiply those cow, which can be maybe 12 cow if I have, based on how they actually produce. Okay, one male, because I've made a mistake, and what I can say to persons who actually get into farming like these things, try to have more females than males, because the males is actually like no use to you when it comes to doing those type of farming. So you need at least one strong bull or a ram, just for serve. What you really need for multiplication is more females. So the more females you have, at least 3 males can be maximum, and the rest should be at least more females. But how I'm starting, I'm going to be starting with at least one good male, and I'm going to be buying my female from all different types of farmers, but good farmers, persons who has good breed of animals. So I'm going to be looking for a deal, and if I can get the 3 female out of one place, and I can get the male somewhere else, that's going to be good. So I can market and capitalize upon the male. And for also when it comes to doing my cows, as I said, with the grass cutter and the drying of the grass, because we experience more sun here than rain. If rain actually falls up to the mountainside, it's actually like a relief rainfall. So it's like a heavy shower and then it's actually stopped. So I do have some work to do, and I started getting my jobs done. So what I want to do also is, as I said, get my grasses dried, um, use them to actually feed on a center stand stump. So I'm going to be planting a pole, and I'm going to be bunking the grass in such a way that it's going to be able to hang, so that the cows can actually just gather around and they can eat. So you can have like one bunk here for pole, a center bunk, another bunk on the side based on the amount of animals I have. So I have food stands that can be hanging so the animals can eat. The water system, when it comes to there, it's not going to be a problem because it's right there. So I can actually just get the water, so it's not going to be a problem. And I think that should be about it. So for the persons who's been following on my channel very long time, so I can say is thank you all for watching on my channels, and I hope that I can bring some new lights to you all. And I do have some other projects that I need to start tying up on because the year is actually ending. And next year, please the Lord, I hope if I live to see then, the progress is going to be bigger. So thank you all for watching, and I'm going to be seeing you all in the next video.